This is V from a Canadian RVer. What I'd like to do today is make a video on how to configure a Wifiranger and make it work off a cable modem. And what you're looking at right now, that's my Cisco cable modem that we have here at our home base. And we have cable in the park, so what I've got is this modem and it's connected to the cable system. And I'm paying for, I think their maximum in the park is 30 gig down and 5 up. So it's not very fast on the up speed, but for down, it's not bad at 30 megs. And you can see it flashing away there. So now what I've done is I've got the cable coming into here, and that's RG6 in the back of the modem. And then what I've done on that blue wire that you see going across, it goes through the channels in the back and it connects to port 1 of my Wifiranger. The yellow cable is port 1. The blue cable is port 2. When I use different devices at different parks, I can hook up my hotspot or my jetpack on the second cable. But right now what we're doing is running the Wifiranger on port 1, which is really the best port to run it because you can configure it and control it from various other rules that you put in. In this corner we have the new 12 volt to 24 volt upgrade package. And what that power supply does, it takes 12 volts and converts it to 24 to power the Wifiranger, and it does a real nice job on that. Now, the yellow connector right at the end in port 5, that's the one that's going up to the Wifiranger Elite. So again, this is the older system, not their Denali package yet. We're still waiting for that when it comes back in stock. I hope to get one. But right now, we're just running the Wifiranger off a cable modem, and I will show you how to do that. And we'll go to the software, and we'll go through the whole complete setup, and actually how to set up rules too. So now what we've done, we've come to the notebook, and I'm using my Mac. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you're connected to your Wifiranger. And when you've configured your Wifiranger, you wanted to know that you created the SIDS, which I've created, and I'm calling it New Wind 5.8. We also have New Wind 2.4, and we also have New Wind Elite AC, which is the unit that's on the roof, which has the farther distance to pick up. All right, so now we are connected to the Wifiranger, and we'll come down here and open up our page. Because it's gone to sleep, we're going to say return to the control panel, and there's where we are. We're online. Now, because we are online to our cable modem, you can see here where it says using Ethernet, and it says 3.3, but that defaults that. And what I found that it always says that, but our speed from our cable modem supplier is, I believe, 30 meg down and 5 meg up. And we are in our RV home base park. We do have cable in the park, and that's why we're able to get a cable modem that you've seen in the first part of the video. So now, let's just go through this. I can disconnect my Ethernet WAN. I can connect my Ethernet WAN 2. Let me explain those two. First of all, we go over into Setup. And in Setup, what you can do is you can prioritize which connections you want first. And what I have here is I have it active. And you see where it says Ethernet WAN. The WAN port is for hardware connections to a modem or LAN network. And what I've done here is I've connected it to a modem, a cable modem, which giving me the internet access to it. The second option I have is the 2.4, which is a built-in 2.4 wireless radio for connecting to nearby Wi-Fi networks. So if it sees any 2.4 networks or 5.8, and the Elite AC is here. Now, you see the Ethernet WAN port 2, I've got that way down on my list. It's still active, and if I turn it off or turn it back on, you'll see where it'll disappear on the main tab page. So this is the configuration that I use at home base because I'm not using any of these other radios or the Ethernet WAN 2. Ethernet WAN 2, that's where I hook up my jetpack, my phone. Sorry, the phone will come on through the 2.4, the 5.8, but a jetpack that has a wired connection, and that's what I have. So I can always hook it in directly instead of using the radio signals to bring in the Wi-Fi to the Wifiranger. All right, we're going back to the main page. And on the main page here, you would see where it says disconnect Ethernet WAN. And because we are connected, before we can connect to any other device to the Wifiranger Go2AC, we have to disconnect the Ethernet WAN and then connect to whatever I wanted. I can connect to, say, for example, Pros 5G. If I want to connect to that, I would go over to this button, disconnect from the Ethernet WAN, and if they had free Wi-Fi available on this SID, I would say connect, and it would go over to the connection here, and it'll say connecting and trying an IP address and so on. But right now in the Wi-Fi part, I'm not using the Wi-Fi part at all, basically, just using the Ethernet hardwire connection. Another nice thing to do here is you go over to usage. And what usage can do for you, it tells you what your system is doing. And there's the Ethernet WAN download and the upload. And there's basically the times. But a real cool thing is right down here. And you can add restrictions. And why I want to do this, say for example, my cable modem is unlimited usage of bandwidth. So I'm not really too worried about setting up a rule. But say you wanted to set up a rule because maybe your provider that you're with says you only got like 50 meg or 1 gig download or something that wants to prevent you from going, and you want to stop that from going over. The first thing you'll do is you'll say, okay, there's the Ethernet WAN. I want to stop that connection. I'm going to say next. Select devices, but I'm going to say all the devices that are in my coach, I want them all to be shut down. I say next. Then, excuse me, then that comes up with disable internet access, block internet usage, and so on. So we're going to say select disable internet access. We want to stop that completely. The next thing is, what days do we want it? What times do we want it? So we're going to say all day, or we can choose a time, but let's just say all day once we meet that criteria. Then make restrictions always active or trigger rule to the rule and set after a bandwidth is used. So in other words, I can say how much bandwidth do I want to do? I want to combine, I want to download, I want to upload, I want all active. There's many more options that you can do, but I won't get into this much farther because it'll take a little more explanation. But if you play around with this, you'll see where you can do it with your Ethernet WAN port that's connected. And that's really cool. I'm not going to save that. Again, it'll just go away because I'm not saving it. But let's go back to the main menu. All right. So also I've been asked on my channel is, could I explain the speeds of 2.4 and 5.8? All right. Well, let's just see right now. Right now we're connected to the Wifiranger on the new Wind 5.8. So 5.8 right now tells me that I'm connected to a better system, a newer technology, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a speed test. So there we are. We are connected. You can see where it's configured, and we're going to go now and just see what our speed is. That we're on the 5.8. So there we go. We're pretty good because, like I say, we only get 30 megabit download, and you can see where it's bouncing around 29, which is not bad. We'll see what the upload gives us. And here we go with the upload. Yeah, the upload is about 5 megs. So 3, it's kind of bouncing around a little bit. Maybe a little busy, excuse me. So there we go. Now, let's just do one thing. We got 29.1 on the 5.8. Right? We're connected there. Let's connect to the 2.4. Give it a second to stabilize. You can see where it's configuring. So now we are connected to the 2.4. Let's do the same test exactly. So here we go on the 2.4. Notice, because the 2.4 frequencies are a lot more used, or it's not as clean, you can see where we're not getting the speeds that we would be on the 5.8. And the upload is pretty well the same right there. We'll let it go across. So you can see the difference with 5.8 and 2.4. At 2.4, we don't have pretty well a lot less download megabits speed than we do with the 5.8. So again, that's a little more information on how the Wifiranger works. We hope to do a lot more videos. In my next video, I'd like to show you how to configure a hotspot, a MiFi, a jetpack, or even your phone, which is really cool because now you can actually configure your phone to be your hotspot while you're traveling. Hope you've enjoyed the video. This is V from a Canadian RVer. Please give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel as it helps us grow. And if you liked the video, we'll see you again in our next video. Thanks for watching.